No, we gotta go. They all get dirty. Dirty? Let's go back to,
Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Sunday. I know I was on such a streak of doing my Facebook Lives on Fridays, but just the past 2 weeks been kind of busy personally on Fridays. So this past Friday, I was taking a nice little getaway with my wife in Newport. So no Facebook Lives while I'm doing family stuff. So um, yep, that's why I didn't come to you last Friday, and I'm back again on Sunday. So still getting in for the week, but just a little bit later than normal. So, and next week, supposed to be heading out on vacation again, but I think I might be able to get squeeze it in on Friday before I leave. So hopefully I'll be back again next Friday with part 5 of our series. But today is part 4 of continuing our discussion on ancestral health and its importance to our overall health, and why I think it's a great model for achieving overall health. And today's topic is going to be on sleep. So this is a tough one for a lot of people. For some lucky folks, sleep comes quite easy and they can just put their head on the pillow and they fall right asleep. But more and more today, I think sleep is becoming a tougher and tougher issue, and something that a lot of people struggle with. And it certainly has a big impact on our health. And once again, I think one of the reasons why we are struggling with sleep it actually has to do more and more with the fact that we're just not doing natural things when it comes to sleep. So for hundreds of thousands of years, our only source of light was the sun, which is quite bright today. But and we had no choice but to get up when the sun came up, and then we went to bed when the sun went down, right? And maybe we had a little bit of fire to keep us warm, but it wasn't providing much light, and you had to stay pretty close to it and tend it. So it's not like it is today, where just mere 100 or so years ago, with the invention of the light bulb, we have artificial light. And by no means am I taking away the fact that the invention of the light bulb is a huge accomplishment and has provided our society and humans in general with so many benefits today, but it also has a downstream negative consequence of we can have light whenever we want, right? So when the sun goes down, we now have light, and we don't just have light from light bulbs, we have light from TVs and phones and computers and all kinds of stuff. And our bodies aren't used to all this artificial light. We're used to a very specific pattern of light, and we do very well with very bright blue lights in the daytime and not so well in the evening. And actually, our hormones can be triggered off these lights. So during the day, when we start to see we take in a lot of blue light through our eyes, it releases the hormone cortisol, which is a hormone that keeps you awake, gives you energy. It's supposed to meant to wake you up. So it makes sense that when the sun rises, we see that blue light from the sun, we get that cortisol response to wake us up and get us going in the morning and keep us going throughout the day. But then as the day goes along, that cortisol hormone kind of trends downward, or should trend downward, but it can get messed up. And at night, when the sun sets, that's the body's trigger that there is no more blue light coming in from the sun, and it's going to release the hormone melatonin, which makes us sleepy and makes us fall asleep. But with our artificial light today, we can have blue light way past the time the sun goes down, and that can keep our cortisol response elevated, our melatonin response suppressed, and that's how one way where artificial light can really affect our sleep. So the first thing that I like to kind of advise people to do is try to follow, when it comes to improving their sleep, try to follow the pattern of the sun, if you can. And I know it can be difficult at times because especially in the winter in the northern hemisphere, where the sun goes down at 4:30 and doesn't rise until 8:30. Sometimes it's really cuts in to your day. It's just not feasible. But For the most part, try to follow the pattern of the sun. So when the sun starts to go down, that's your cue to start to wind down to get ready to go to sleep. And when it comes up, that's your cue to start getting up and getting ready for the day. So if you in general follow that type of pattern, your sleep is going to be much better. And there's ways that we can, um, uh, you know, still enjoy modern life, with watching TV and being on the computer and whatnot, without trying to mitigate the negative impact from the light that we see from these devices around us, with things like blue light blocking glasses. And now you can enable certain settings on your phone and on your computer, so it limits the blue light that gets produced, and that can help with the blue light affecting your apologize for the car going by. That can help mitigate the effect of the blue light on your hormone response, your melatonin and your cortisol response, and help prevent you from having a bad night's sleep due to the blue light that's happening. And besides doing things like mitigating light response, right, and following the pattern of the sun, there's other things that you should probably be doing as well, to help improve your sleep or get you the best sleep you possibly can, right? Number one thing is, like, don't eat so close to bedtime. So try to have your last meal 2 to 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. When you go to sleep with eating too close to bed, your body is spending a lot of time digesting and can really disrupt your sleep pattern. No alcohol before sleep. Alcohol before sleep, while it makes you feel like you get a good night's sleep, it really disrupts your sleep patterns, and you're actually not getting a very good night's sleep at all. Passing out is not the same as having a good night's sleep, so limit alcohol intake before bed. Other things, like from a lifestyle perspective, you don't want to exercise too close to bed. Again, exercising stimulates that cortisol response. It suppresses that melatonin response, much like blue light would, and that can keep you up and have a pretty negative impact on your sleep. I know all of those things for me impact my sleep quality, so and it's very common for other people to do similar things, especially eating too close to bed. It's not good to do that. As far as setting up your sleep environment where you can get the best ideal night's sleep possible, you want your room to be as cool as you possibly can make it. And I know everyone's experienced the problem of, here comes my son mowing the grass. I know everyone's experienced the problem of it being super hot at night in the summer, and that can really keep you up and awake and make you uncomfortable. So trying to get your room nice and cool to a nice, comfortable, cool sleeping temperature. Generally people say around 65 degrees. It depends on the person whether you like it that cold or not, but something that you perceive to be nice and cool, and try and get that temperature, dial that in every night. Make sure your room's quiet. You don't want a lot of noise. The best you can. If you have a lot of noise, you sleep in a noisy area, earplugs are a good idea. No TV in the bedroom. Basically the only thing you do in your bedroom is sleep and have sex. That's it. That's really what the bedroom's for. So no TV, don't read books. You start to associate your bed with other things, and that can really have a mental impact on going to sleep. On the food thing, I forgot to mention caffeine too late into the day can really affect people's sleep depending on who you are. So if you're very sensitive to caffeine, try to keep any caffeine intake before noon, which is what I try to do for most days, and that really helps me. So quiet, cool, no technology, limit lights, make it as dark as you possibly can. If you live in a place where the sun might shine into the room at night, or there's street lights or whatnot, get a pair of blackout curtains. Those really help. We have a pair of those. And things like alarm clocks and any kind of light in your room can really affect your sleep. So try to cover up those lights or take them out of the room completely. That really can help. And just make sure overall you're comfortable, right? You want your bedroom, the place you sleep, to be the most comfortable place you possibly can be, with zero distractions and stuff like that. The other thing that can really throw people's sleep for a loop is their just their mental mindset or stress level going into sleep. So if you're super stressed and got a very stressful day, obviously, your sleep can really suffer because of that. And oftentimes these things compound, so you have a stressful day, you feel like you want to have a drink at night to relieve some stress, and that gets too close to bed, and now you have the stress and the alcohol and the eating too late at night, and those things can really just compound, right? Next day you wake up with from a bad night's sleep, you're taking more caffeine than normal, again the pattern repeats and repeats and repeats. So it can be quite the vicious cycle if you're not careful. But if stress is a problem, lots of people like to meditate before bed. Sometimes I find that useful to just chill out. Other people like to, if they have a lot on their mind, they'll journal, they'll write a lot of stuff down and get it out of their head, and that can help relax people a lot. I've done, my wife and I sometimes do joint meditations when we go to sleep, because if you're sleeping with someone else, that can be a nice little thing to do as a couple. And really drift off to sleep together. So try to address all that mental stress as well before you go to bed, and that can really help too. And I think that's really what I want to say about sleep. I'm sure there's a whole bunch more that I could possibly say about it. Really, sleep is just a never-ending topic that people are always battling and trying to pay attention to. I know something that I don't have a good answer for, that lots of times comes up because it's top of mind for me, is if you have kids, small children, that keep you up at night. That happens to us sometimes. Some people, it can be worse than others, especially if you're an infant or you're still like a mother that's breastfeeding and you need to get up and feed your kid throughout the night. Basically, the only advice I have there is really just do the best you can. Get as much sleep as you can. When they nap during the day, we're past this stage, but it used to be when they would fall asleep during the day, my wife and I would try and take a nap if we had a really tough night. If you can have, if you have any kind of outside help, someone that can watch the child for a little bit during the day, where you can squeeze in a nap, that can really help with your sleep debt. But it's really just at that age, and you have kids young that are keeping you up at night, it's really just mitigating the damage as best you can. There's no perfect solution, but you got to do the best you can. So, yep. I think that's what I want to say. If you have any questions about sleep, please just throw them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them and try to address them, give advice if there's something that I missed or forgot to talk about. Or if you have advice for others or things that have really worked for you. I'm not a huge fan of supplements, really, for the most part. Some people find things like ashwagandha, small dose melatonin supplementation can sometimes help, but I really think that stuff should all be like short-term fixes, right? If you're really struggling and you're trying to get your sleep back on path. Sometimes I use things like that if I'm traveling, when I travel across time zones, which is a whole other sleep topic we can talk about. But if I'm, I've had a particularly rough few weeks of sleep, or if I'm traveling and my sleep's been off, I will use Dr. Parsley's sleep remedy, which is a really nice little mix of different herbs. It kind of helps to drift you off into sleep. And all natural stuff, so you can check that out. That's really the only thing I've ever used. But like I said, I don't think it's something that anyone should rely on. You should be able to fall asleep naturally throughout the night and stay asleep for the most part. With that, I'll sign off for the day. And like I said, I'll try to talk to you guys this week on Friday before I head out on vacation. If there's anything I missed on the sleep topic, let me know. Hit me up. Leave a comment or shoot me a direct message. Happy to help. And please share this content if you like, and sign up for my newsletter. You go to rjbhealth.coach. Right at the top there's a link for a newsletter. You can sign up there, and I'm going to be sending out some exclusive content this week to my newsletter. I'm going to be announcing something special this week to my newsletter, so if you want to get on that and see what the special announcement is, please sign up for the newsletter. You'll get delivered to your email inbox and be the first to know about it. And with that, it's going too long, so I will talk to everyone next week. Have a good rest of your Sunday and a good week, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk soon.